My favorite junior achievement course to teach is the ones that are involving debits and credits and about budgeting, because I feel like it allows the students to really see how important it is to have a good credit score and how much budgeting really can affect how much you have in savings and how your occupation really goes into effect with that.
Probably my favorite JA day was the college day, where we just went into a school and talked about kind of like college and high school and our experiences with all of that. It was kind of the coolest for me because you could tell it was very relevant to those kids. We went into the 8th grade classrooms and they were all very engaged and very interested in what I had to say.
One of the greatest moments I've had is just being able to talk to students peer-to-peer in a way, to allow them to see that any aspirations they might have of continuing their higher education, that's possible because they see me doing it, and since I am a peer, there's that click in the fact that they can see that they can also aspire to have a higher education. So I think there are a lot of transferable skills. I think one of them is just being able to stand in front of a classroom and deal with students of all different identities, humors, things like that. I think that's one of the greatest things. Just being able to present yourself with confidence, being very adaptable, because volunteering, and I just think working in the nonprofit world, there's a lot to adapt to. But I think that just speaking in front of a large group and being able to adapt have been the largest skills that I've learned.
This is a great experience for many reasons, but most recently I was just offered an internship position at a firm that I currently work for in the investment sector, and it was a really competitive interview process, but what I think made me stand out as opposed to the other candidates is that my interviewer, although she was, MBA law school person, she had volunteered at Junior Achievement in the early 90s. And so when she saw that on my resume, it struck up a conversation, and I think we connected on that level, and that it allowed me to advance to the next level of the interview stage.
I've definitely become more confident within myself. I've always been a very confident person, but the ability to, again, speak in front of a crowd full of second graders, which people may not think is a tough crowd, but I get more nervous going in and speaking to a group of second or third graders than I do speaking to a panel of people that might be interviewing.
It really allows me to see the difference in the different kinds of quality in schools that we have in different communities, and how sometimes students just see that as an obstacle for them when we talk about our obstacles in terms of how we can accomplish our dreams and goals and things like that. So I think for transformation for both of us is just working through those and understanding that if you're willing to work hard, that you can still accomplish your dreams regardless of where you grew up, as long as you're willing to accept the circumstances you have and work hard. I think this program has allowed me to just really see that everyone is capable of making a difference, even if it's just with a few students or with one student or with the whole classroom. I think any sort of effort that we put in terms of time, and to show the kids that we really care about them and to what interests they have, and for them to be the futures of our country, I think it's important for me and for them to understand that everyone's capable of making a difference.
Working predominantly in a Hispanic community, I had a lot of students who asked me a lot about my college experience, but also asked me a lot about my identity, not only as a Hispanic, but also as a woman, right? And I had so many girls and men alike just come up to me and ask me, did you struggle? What was it like? But I think that it was really personal for them to for me to be able to speak Spanish with them, and kind of feel that connection. So I think the transformation is just for them to be able to reach larger aspirations because they see someone that looks like them, and they kind of want to follow those footsteps.
I think that as a student, we have more opportunities to do things like this, because the idea of being a young student and still thinking about what we want to do in life is still fresh in our minds.
What I've gained from it will just, snowball into something so much larger, because I've decided to stay with the organization because I believe so heavily in it. So although I think I've gained so much as far as transferable skills for the workplace, I think that there's so much more to come, and that really excites me.